whom don't believe in Allah by heart, but show that they believe in Allah by tongue. So when they have the opportunity to turn to another camp, they turn to the other camp and they say, we're from you. We were only joking with them. We were only jokingly saying that, oh, we're brothers, whereas we're really your brothers. We're not their brothers. So one is nifaq amali. Nifaq amali is when you sincerely believe that Allah is one in your heart, but your actions don't match your belief. This is called an-nifaq al-asghar. This is called the small nifaq. This is called the small hypocrisy. But this is potentially deadly. This type of hypocrisy is potentially deadly. And may Allah save us, but so many of us fall into this hypocrisy. Then there's an-nifaq al-akbar. There's the greater hypocrisy. The greater hypocrisy is that this person doesn't really have belief in his heart at all. So he doesn't accept Allah by his heart, but he accepts Allah, he shows he accepts Allah in action. Now, the ulama, they mention that if a person becomes neglectful and satisfied upon being from the category of an-nifaq al-amali, from the nifaq where he believes in his heart that Allah is one, but his actions don't match that belief. If he becomes satisfied, and he becomes satisfied to live a life like that, where he'll say, La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah, and then his life will be different to the demands of this kalima. His life will be different. So if he becomes satisfied and says, oh, you know, I'm okay. You know, at least I'm a believer, I don't need to wake up for Fajr. At least I'm a believer, I can still go clubbing. At least I'm a believer, I can still smoke and drink. At least I'm a believer, I can still take drugs. At least I'm a believer, I can still have premarital relationships. I say, La ilaha illallah, I'm going into Jannah, no problem. So this person who becomes content, the ulama, they say that when a person becomes content upon this nifaq, an-nifaq al-amali, where in his heart he believes in Allah sincerely, but outside his actions don't match, then he is creating a pathway to an-nifaq al-i'tiqadi, to that hypocrisy which is the major hypocrisy. It is when not only does he lose the outward actions, but he loses the inner as well. So he loses that iman. But remember, he will still say he's a believer. This is the point we have to remember. He will still say he's a believer. A kafir will say, I don't believe in Allah. A mushrik will say, I don't believe in Allah. But a munafiq will always say, I believe in Allah. Whether he's in an-nifaq al-amali or whether he's in an-nifaq al-i'tiqadi, he will always say, I believe in Allah. And this is the greatest deception to the believers that shaitan gives. Greatest deception. Because who will say, I don't believe in Allah? Every person sat here and in all four corners of the world who has iman will always say, I believe in Allah. No one's going to say, I don't believe in Allah. And then a person, if they're asked, that, do you sincerely believe in Allah? They're going to say, of course we sincerely believe in Allah. وَإِذَا لَقُوا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا قَالُوا آمَنَّا. When they meet the believers, they say, we believe. وَإِذَا خَلَوْا إِلَىٰ شَيَاطِينِهِمْ. And when they go in privacy to their shaitans, meaning their own company. Their own company. Munafiqs like them, the disbelievers, the mushrikeen. When they go in their company, قَالُوا إِنَّمَا نَحْنُ. We are from you. We are from you. What were we doing with them? Mustahzi'un. We were just having a joke with them. We're just laughing. We're just faking it. We're just faking it. So if anybody was asked here that, are you in an-nifaq al-amali or an-nifaq al-i'tiqadi? Then everyone will say, look, I believe in Allah sincerely from my heart. Maybe I don't have Fajr Salah in my life, but I believe in Allah. Maybe I lie, but I still believe in Allah. Maybe I cheat, I fraud, but I still believe in Allah. Maybe I deceive, but I still believe in Allah. No one's going to say that, oh, I'm from the second category. But this is the danger, and this is the deception of shaitan. That for our entire lives, he will keep us in this perception that we are not perfect believers. Yeah, I admit, we're not perfect believers. But I believe in Allah from my heart. Yeah, I do. Until this person slips away from an-nifaq al-amali and enters an-nifaq al-i'tiqadi, and his beliefs become corrupt. his beliefs become corrupt. There are sifat. There are qualities of the munafiqeen that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran. And even though I wanted to mention ayat of the Quran with these qualities, but I don't want to do a part 2 to this, so I'm just going to, inshallah, just in a minute, just go through some of these qualities. And all we've got to think is, with a mind of contemplation, is that do I have these qualities of the munafiqeen? In the Quran, one point I'll mention, in the Quran, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talks about the munafiqeen, He talks about those ones in the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and those who followed after until today, until the day of judgment. But those who were in the second category, an-nifaq al-akbar, the greater hypocrisy, which is an-nifaq al-i'tiqadi, where they didn't really have iman in their heart, but they just showed it. So every place where punishment is mentioned, it is mentioned for such types of munafiqeen. But from amongst the qualities that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentions in the Quran, one is at-takasul fil ibadat. They are lazy in worship. So now, as I mentioned these, we have to ask ourselves that are my qualities like the qualities of these munafiqs? Is this how I am as well? Is this my behavior today and my attitude today towards my religion? The second quality is بغض وكراهة ما أنزل الله من الأوامر. They have hatred and they have dislike for that which Allah reveals in terms of commandments. They fear and they are cowardly. So whenever any calamity strikes, they always think, oh, Allah's going to punish me now. Allah's going to punish me now. Allah's going to punish me now. And why do they think this? Is because their iman is weak. And they know they are at fault. And they know they're cheating. So they always think that anything can happen and it's going to happen to me. Not because they're sincere and they're fearing Allah. No, because they know they're in the wrong. And they may get caught out any day, but they're still continuing in that way. Al-bukhl, they are stingy people. Al-ghadr, they are deceiving people. They have al-khiyana in their lives, which is so al-ghadr is deception is deception in transactions, deception on the battlefield. Al-khiyana is being untrustworthy. So that can possibly have similar meanings towards being deceiving as well. Al-kidh, they lie. Ash-shak, they always have doubt in their hearts about Iman and Islam. Al-amr bil-munkar wal-nahy anil ma'ruf, they instruct towards the wrong. And they forbid the good. So they encourage the evil and they stop people from doing good. Al-farh bi-musibatil mu'min, they happy upon the difficulties that befall the believers. They make fun of the believers, they fight, they argue, they leave guidance for misguidance. And they are liars in terms of their faith. And all these have been taken from the Quran, but I don't have time to go through the ayat. So I wanted to conclude the session on hypocrisy and nifaq. So upon this we conclude and we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that He frees our heart from both levels of nifaq. And He frees the hearts of our families, friends and relatives from both levels of nifaq. And He frees the entire ummah from both levels of nifaq. Nifaq, my dear respected brothers, mothers and sisters listening, it is also termed as a shirk al-khafi, the hidden shirk or the minor shirk. So on a shirk level, it's termed as the lower one. So it's not the actual one, but it's the lower one. But as we've learnt today, it can lead you to disbelief. Nifaq can. And the lower level can lead you to the higher level as well. So we must never be content with our actions. We must always keep trying to steady our boat and keep improving our iman. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the ability to act upon what has been said today. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Subhanallah bihamdihi, subhanallah al-azim. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Inshallah, next week we continue with ayah number 107 and onwards. And we only have until 111 left before we finish the beautiful surah of Surah Yoosuf. So keep coming and keep listening, inshallah, and keep learning. And the person who benefits the most by your coming is myself. So when you sit here, and you sit with the right qualities of a student of knowledge in your heart, which I can't see, but it affects me. And that's how my tongue is able to speak and what it talks. And then with your outwardly attentiveness as well, how you look carefully and you, when you hear something good, you say subhanallah, you nod your head, you show affirmation. When you hear punishment, then you look down, and these, how you react as well, it all tells me as well that I'm explaining in a way that you're understanding, and it helps me continue as well. And if you weren't here, if none of you were here, then I wouldn't be sat here delivering the dars. This is the reality of it. And I wouldn't have researched these ayat in the detail that I did. So I'm grateful to you that you're sat here, and then you should be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that the masjid provides this opportunity for you every week. So you should keep coming and keep benefiting. And slowly but surely through this relationship, we will continue to strengthen our relationship with Allah, recognize our Creator more nearer, more closer, more clearer, and improve in our deen as well. Ameen ya Rabbil Alameen. Subhanallah bihamdi, subhanallah al-azim, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.